We are here today to unbox Risk Deep Space. Now, as far as I know, this is a Target exclusive. You might be able to find copies of it on Amazon or, of course, on eBay or some secondhand retailer, but I believe initially this game is just exclusive to Target. So I just want to unbox it. This has actually got a lot of pieces. I got to punch out some cardboard, so I thought we could just unbox and hang. All right, so I've peeked in the box a little bit, so I already know what to expect. But I gotta say, the packaging is pretty cool. Got my coffee here. This is a Hills Brothers, so my coffee habits for purchasing, I'm always looking for whatever's on sale. So that allows me to try a variety, and I'm getting a good deal. So we got our instruction booklet. This is a fold-out pamphlet. A really nice graphic design for the rule book. I really didn't have any issues understanding what to do. It shows some nice graphics and examples, and there was only one rule that wasn't blatantly stated that I think you just have to assume what the right thing to do is. And I'll be pointing that out in the how to play video. All right, and then here we go. This is awesome, the way they package this thing. You've got essentially, well, okay, let's pull out this insert. This insert doesn't do much of anything. You can use it as like a dice tray if you need one, but it's just a cover to keep everything orderly underneath it. So first we got our deck of cards. These are like action cards. Just go ahead and unwrap them. Gotta use all my muscles. Okay, ooh, yikes. Very thin, rough cut. These are not as nice as the cards that came with Classic Risk. You can just see the edge. Look at the edge on that. What was it, cut with a dull knife? So there are a variety of action cards. Meteor Shower, Asteroid Belt. Give you a closer look at these. Wake Up Call, Energy Boost, nice. I'm a little disappointed in the card quality. This is just a $20 game though, so. A little sneak peek at all these. Work Overtime, Air Leak. Huh. A Slingshot. This is an interesting theme because it is about, I mean, it's sort of a war game. It doesn't feel very war-ish. It's definitely toned down a little bit theme-wise, because it's a race to build bases, either the first to 4 bases or the first to 5, depending on the player count. There is some combat, but it's extremely simple, just 1 die versus 1 die. So I don't know, the direction for the game design, it's interesting. And I don't understand why Target is targeted for really simplified games. I don't want to say dumbed down, but I don't know. We'll see how it plays. The color scheme and the art design, the graphic design and the art direction, all that really captures my attention. I think it's pretty cool. I hope the game is fun. All right, let's look at the construction materials. So this is how it came. I did pop the box open to look at it, but so you got your 2 die. They're not even 2 different colors. One player will roll 1 and the other player will roll the other, and the highest die wins. And as players lose, they remove one recruit from their planet. When all of your recruits are gone from the planet, you no longer have control of the planet, and you have to battle. There's no retreating. You have to finish the battle. So there are 4 different colors of recruits and bases. Let me see here. Boom. Focus. Huh. Little recruit. And they're all the same. There's not different units. And here's a base. Let me pick a different color. Here's the purple. So you can build 1 base per planet, and your goal is to build in a 3 or 4 player game. You want to build 4 of these. In a 2-player game, you want to build 5 of these, 1 per planet. So it's a bit of an area control game, and more than 1 player can build a base on a planet. So the only time you battle is when you have recruits on the planet at the same time. It's an interesting system. So that's it. All this stuff is kept in this box. I don't know how I feel about that. I think I'd prefer individual boxes for each player, but I think it fits the overall theme and the overall mood of the game to have everything just thrown together in a box. All right, the game board. I think it's pretty compact by Risk standards. So each player has a home station to start in, and you are allowed to make 2 movements per turn. And as you move, you have to follow the lines. So when you move from planet to planet, they must be connected by this beam of light. Once recruits leave the home station, they cannot go back in. When you get a certain number of recruits on a planet, you can build a base. And again, if you move from planet to planet, moving your recruits onto a planet with another player's recruits, there will be battle. Once a base is built, you can't remove it. So it's honestly, I think it's more a racing game than a combat game. Because yeah, you do have some fighting, but that's only if you manage to collide with another player's recruits. In the meantime, you're really just trying to race around this galaxy, establishing bases and trying to control an area by establishing your base. There is a warp here in the center. I wish they would have done a little more with the warp. Because yes, you pay a gem. You have to pay a gem to use the warp. And it still counts as 1 movement. So it doesn't go 1, 2. It's 1 or 1. So that's a way to navigate the inner planets a lot quicker. But it does cost. There are 2 resources, gems and ore. Ore is what allows you to build a base. And you have to spend a little bit of ore and have so many recruits on the base to do that. Or recruits on the planet. I really like the board. I think it's got a 50s sci-fi kind of vibe. And I think that's really neat. Finally, the tokens. So these are our resource tokens, and you've got, so we've got planet covers. So what these will do, when you're playing a 2-player game, you cover 2 planets that are opposite from each other in the corners. So like bottom right corner and top left corner, or vice versa, bottom left and top right. You will cover those. So there are fewer planets on the board for a 2-player game. You can see the beams of light that allow players to travel differently on the board. I thought that was pretty cool that they took the time to give you a way to modify the board to make a 2-player game more accessible or more enjoyable. So you got all your gem tokens and all of your ore tokens here. Let's get some punched out. I'll show you the different tokens. Nope, this one has a tear on it already. So they are double-sided. Double-sided. This one already has a tear on it, so that's a little disappointing. And so construction materials box, these can go in here as well when you're done punching them out. So I'll go ahead and throw these in the box. And then let's do an ore. So again, double-sided token. Pretty cool. We've got, what do we got here? Oh, costs 1 extra ore to build a base. Not quite sure what this token's going to be used for. Wow, my camera will not focus. This is new territory for me. Boop. It just wants to focus on my calloused hands. Oh well, what if I do this? Why are you focused on me? Oh well. Okay, so here's the cost 1 extra ore to build a base token. Not sure how that's going to be used, actually. I think it will be correlated with action card. And then we've got what I think is a pretty fun little feature, Space Dog. There is a companion you can assign to your group of recruits that allows you to add one to your attack die, and you get to keep it until you lose. So let's say you attack, you've got the dog with you, and you lose a battle. You lose one of the rolls, you remove the dog first before you lose any recruits, which thematically is kind of sad. The dog sacrifices itself, but that's a good boy, I guess. All right, and we got our planet covers. Punch that out. Pretty easy punch. This is double-sided as well. I don't think the colors mean anything. Those will not fit in the box. The construction materials container. Same thing. Are they any different? So they do have some different colors, but I don't think the colors mean anything. And that's it. That's the variety of tokens. So Risk is a game that I grew up playing a lot with my cousins. It seemed like at every family get-together, we either played Euchre or Risk. And it was always pretty fun. It got to the point where my cousin actually started designing his own Risk game, essentially. He made his own board. He made his own cards, like action cards. And it was pretty cool. The board was really nicely done, and he put it under glass, so that way it was heavy. It was like framed in its own it was encased in its own frame with a glass top, and that worked really well. So those were some good times, though. But it was always kind of funny because he really liked games that went a long time. So we'd easily, if we played Risk, or specifically his Risk variant, the game would go, you would just count on it being at least 3 hours. And well, I was always more a fan of a quicker, snappier game, especially if I knew I was going to lose. I just wanted to get over with. I really do miss playing that Risk game. I wonder if he still has it. I can't even remember the last time I had a game where I had to punch pieces out. Because I didn't have to punch any pieces out for Forbidden Bridge. Interesting. Okay, all the tokens are punched. All right, we'll get them in the construction materials box here. I don't think these will fit. Maybe I was wrong. Nope, the planet covers do fit inside the construction materials box. I don't know how I got that one wrong. There we go. See how this thing works. You know, I think the action cards will fit in here too. Oh yeah, that's pretty slick. Okay, so we can fit everything right inside this box. Close it up. Wow, that's cool. I actually really like that. All right, let's see how it all packs back in. Construction material. Oh, I see a token. There we go. Construction materials, and actually we're going to put the board under, and then your instructions on top, I guess. There we go. There we have it. Risk Deep Space. Huh. So after reviewing the rules pretty thoroughly and checking out all the game pieces, I'm pretty excited to play it. I wanted to play it with my cousins, but I was afraid that because it's not solely focused on the combat portion, we never really played with secret missions. We just like the idea of a simple war game where you're just trying to control continents, and you'd have that elevating ability to grow your recruits. So, you know, the more countries you owned, the more you were able to place on the beginning of your turn, more armies. And then we also played where every time someone turned in, the amount of soldiers you collected for the trade-in would increase. We'd use that track. So we really liked the escalation. And that really allowed for some big swings. But this game is not like that at all. I think I read that this is similar to a different game. So I feel like this is a re-implementation of another game. I can't remember the name of it, but there's not a lot on Board Game Geek about this game yet. And I don't know if it's just because it was a Target exclusive that it's just not hitting tables because of that. But there's another Risk coming out, another Risk Legacy game called Dark Ops or something like that. And Risk Legacy is still pretty easy to find. So, I don't know. I used to have a pretty big Risk collection. Lord of the Rings, Risk 2210, Risk Godstorm was probably the prize of my Risk collection, but I ended up getting rid of them all, selling them or giving them away. And I sort of regret that. But, oh well, always time to start collecting again. And I think Risk Deep Space might be a nice addition. Well, thanks for watching. That's it for this unboxing. Until next time, keep on playing.